Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. Today we're diving into a truth most men never get to hear: the hidden thoughts of women, the subtle emotions they'll never confess out loud, and the 4 powerful reasons why she still thinks about you, more than she'd ever dare to admit. She may act indifferent. She may move on with someone else. She might even seem cold. But beneath that surface is a storm of emotion, and in this video we'll peel back the layers to reveal what she's truly feeling and why your presence still echoes in her mind. This is not just about understanding her, it's about empowering you in the man with the clarity, self-respect, and inner strength to navigate love and loss with wisdom. Ancient truths, emotional intelligence, and raw, real insight into women's behavior. So before we begin, drop a comment below. Have you ever felt like a woman was still thinking about you, even when she pretended she wasn't? And if you're ready to reclaim your power, if you're tired of modern dating lies and want real relationship mastery, like, share, and subscribe to join the Stoic Golden Tribe. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The emotional imprint you left behind. When a man touches a woman emotionally, deeply, authentically, that imprint doesn't simply vanish, it lingers. It echoes in her silence, in her late-night thoughts, in the quiet moments between conversations with others. And here's the truth no one tells you: even when she walks away, if you touched her soul, part of her still walks with you. What most men fail to realize is that a woman is not just drawn to status, appearance, or bravado. What stays with her is how you made her feel, how safe she felt in your presence, how seen, how feminine, how alive she felt when your energy wrapped around her. Not with force, but with grounded, masculine certainty. You see, the modern world tells you to be less emotional, less present, more distant, as if detachment alone gives you power. But ancient wisdom teaches us that true masculine strength is not in being cold, it's in being calm, still, rooted like an oak tree. And when a man lives from that kind of presence, he leaves behind something no woman can forget: the feeling of being truly known. That's what haunts her. Not the gifts, not the texts, not even the physical moments. It's the emotional signature you left behind, the spiritual fingerprint that no one else seems to match. She may scroll through her phone at night, looking at your messages, not to reply, but to feel that energy again, to see if your tone, your words, your masculine essence still live in her world, even after you've walked away. And here's the twist: the more silent you become, the louder your presence feels in her mind. That's the paradox. The less you chase, the more she remembers, because the masculine that no longer seeks validation, no longer reaches out, is the one she can't stop wondering about. In ancient Eastern philosophy, there's a concept called wu-wei. It's the art of effortless influence. It means to lead not through force, but through presence. You don't need to control her thoughts, you just need to become unforgettable. And you do that by living with honor, direction, and stillness. So the first reason she thinks about you more than she admits is because you left something deeper than memories. You left a feeling that no man has been able to recreate. That feeling doesn't die easily, it lingers, and it whispers to her in ways even she doesn't fully understand. Drop a comment below. Have you ever felt your silence speak louder than your words? Like she still felt you, even after you were gone? Let's hear your story. Chapter 2. Her ego vs. her heart. The inner war. She hides. A woman's heart can ache for a man, while her ego convinces her to stay silent. This is one of the most misunderstood dynamics in modern relationships, and one of the biggest reasons why she thinks about you far more than she'll ever confess. Let's break this down. After a breakup or emotional separation, what happens inside a woman is not always what she shows you. On the surface, she may appear happy, unbothered, even radiant. She might post new photos, hang out with friends, or quickly move on to someone else. But underneath, there's often a silent war raging between her heart. which still feels the emotional bond, and her ego, which is trying to protect her pride. You see, a woman's ego tells her to appear strong, independent, untouched. Society celebrates this image. Don't text him first. Make him miss you. Never let a man see you weak. But her heart, that's a different story. Her heart remembers the way your voice made her feel safe, the way your presence brought her peace, the way your absence now creates a void she can't seem to fill. This inner conflict is exhausting for her, because even though she's trying to move on, she's secretly watching your stories, checking when you're online, asking mutual friends how you're doing. And sometimes she even dreams about you, because the soul remembers what the ego wants to forget. In ancient Greek philosophy, the Stoics taught that humans suffer most not from what happens to them, but from their interpretation of it. And that's exactly what's happening to her. She's not suffering because you're gone. She's suffering because she's denying what your presence meant to her. There's a concept in psychology called cognitive dissonance, the mental tension that happens when our actions conflict with our beliefs. That's her right now. She's trying to convince herself she's over you, while her body, her emotions, and her dreams say otherwise. But here's where most men go wrong. They chase her in this phase. They sense her pulling away, and they try to fix it, send more messages, show up uninvited, explain their side, and in doing so, they feed her ego, not her heart. The more you pursue during this emotional war, the more she feels the need to defend her pride. But if you stay centered, if you remain still, focused, and grounded in your own worth, her ego eventually grows silent and her heart begins to speak louder. And when that happens, she starts to feel your absence not as relief, but as loss. This is where the tables quietly turn. She remembers the emotional sanctuary you provided, the masculine stability she can't find in others, and the space you gave her, instead of chasing her, now becomes the very space where her longing for you grows. That's why she still thinks about you. Not because she wants to admit defeat, not because she needs saving, but because no matter how much her ego tries to bury the connection, her heart keeps digging it back up. And the man who understands this, who doesn't react but remains rooted, is the man who eventually reclaims his power and often her admiration. So remember this: when a woman walks away, it's not always the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of a war within her, one you're no longer fighting, but still deeply a part of. Drop a comment below. Have you ever watched a woman act like she was done, while her actions told a different story? Share what you noticed and let's talk about it. Chapter 3. Your growth in silence. The shift that draws her back. There is a moment, quiet, invisible, when a man decides to stop chasing and start evolving. He chooses not to beg, not to prove, not to convince, but to become. And that decision, made in the shadows of solitude, is what transforms him into the kind of man a woman cannot stop thinking about. You see, when you pull away from a woman, not to manipulate her, not to punish her, but to heal and build yourself, something begins to shift. At first, she may feel free. Her ego might even celebrate your absence. But over time, as your silence deepens and your energy strengthens, she begins to feel the difference. Because here's what most women aren't prepared for. Most men collapse without her. But you didn't. In fact, you started rising. You started going to the gym again. You began reading, meditating, rebuilding. You stopped seeking validation and began creating value. You became the man you once promised to become. Only this time, it wasn't for her. It was for you. And that, right there, is what haunts her most. She starts to wonder, was I just a chapter in his story, or did I unknowingly inspire his evolution? Women are intuitive. Deep down, she can feel when your energy changes. She may not know what books you're reading or how many late nights you've stayed up working on your goals, but she senses the shift. Your texts are different, if you send them at all. Your tone has weight. Your absence now feels more powerful than your presence used to. In ancient African traditions, elders would say that when a man goes silent, he is listening to the ancestors. This silence is sacred. It's where a man reconnects with his purpose, where he stops being reactive and starts becoming responsive. He is no longer a boy chasing affection. He is now a man choosing direction. And here's the paradox: the very moment you stop trying to be good enough for her is the moment you become more than she ever expected. Women are emotionally driven, and they are drawn to energy. If your energy was once scattered, needy, or confused, it may have pushed her away. But now your energy is focused, strong, centered. And even if she's with someone else, she feels it. Even if she can't explain why you're suddenly occupying more of her thoughts than ever before. Understand this deeply. Growth is magnetic, not just physically, but energetically. When a man improves himself from the inside out, not to get her back, but to get himself back, his presence begins to echo in her mind in ways no contact, no chasing, no words ever could. Your silence isn't just space, it's signal. It's telling her, I am no longer the man you left. I am the man you never truly got to see. And that mystery, that evolution, that transformation is what she can't stop thinking about, because now you're not just a memory. You've become a myth in her mind, a question that no one else is answering. And whether she admits it or not, she's watching, she's comparing. And inside her, there's a quiet ache asking, what if I walked away from the man who was just about to become everything I ever needed? So stay focused. Stay on your path. The man who grows in silence becomes louder than any words could ever be. Drop a comment below. Have you ever felt your silence and self-growth change the way she looked at you? Even from a distance? Let the tribe hear your experience. Chapter 4. She thinks about you, because deep down she still feels safe with you. There's something that lingers in a woman's soul far longer than passion. It's safety. Not physical safety, though that matters, but emotional safety. The feeling of being fully accepted, fully seen, and unconditionally safe to be soft, vulnerable, and feminine around a man who doesn't judge her, but holds her. And if you were that man, she remembers. Even if she's with someone else, even if she tells herself you're part of her past. She may laugh louder now, go out more, seem to have moved on, but no man can fake the energy you once gave her. That stillness, that grounding, that silent signal that said, I've got this. You can relax here. In today's world, many men wear masks, pretending to be strong, only to panic at the first sign of her emotion. They crave her beauty but fear her depth. They want her presence but flee her moods. But if you were the exception, if you stood in front of her, calm in the storm, centered in her chaos, you became more than a lover. You became a safe place, and that is unforgettable. In ancient Japanese philosophy, there's a concept called shinrai, a word that means trust, born not from promises but from presence. It's the kind of trust that doesn't come from talking, but from simply being there in such a way that a woman feels like she can rest her spirit next to yours. And here's the thing most men don't know. A woman will often return, in her thoughts, her dreams, or even in real life, not to the most exciting man or the most attractive man, but to the man who made her feel the most safe in her femininity. Because at her core, she's tired of pretending. She doesn't want to lead all the time. She doesn't want to always be in control. She wants to surrender, not in weakness, but in trust. And the only man she can do that with is the one who sees her, truly feels her, and never uses her vulnerability against her. You may have walked away, you may have let her go, but if you gave her that level of safety, if your presence once calmed her nervous system, slowed her racing mind, and made her feel like a woman in the presence of a king, she still thinks about you. because deep down, she knows that kind of safety is rare. And no matter what mask she wears, no matter who she's with, her soul remembers. And now that you've chosen yourself, evolved in silence, and built a life of purpose and peace, your energy speaks louder than ever. You've become the man not who needs her, but who is worthy of her, not by demand, but by design. So the next time you wonder if she still thinks of you, know this: if you ever gave her real safety, you never really left her mind. You still live in the quietest corners of her heart. Not because you asked to be there, but because she invited you in and never found anyone strong enough to replace you. Drop a comment below. Have you ever been the one man who gave her peace and later realized she still remembered you for it? Share your truth with the tribe. Brothers of the Stoic Golden Tribe, you've just walked through the 4 unspoken reasons why a woman may still think about you long after the words have stopped, the calls have ended, and the doors have closed. But remember this: the goal was never to make her obsessed. The goal is to become a man so aligned, so grounded in his purpose, that your absence speaks louder than your presence ever could. Women remember the feeling of a man more than the facts about him. They forget what you said, but never how you made them feel. And if you gave her depth, clarity, direction, peace, you became a rare imprint on her feminine soul, one that time struggles to erase. So don't chase her thoughts, don't beg to stay in her mind. Instead, become the man that her soul can't forget, no matter how hard she tries. Your silence, your growth, your focus, your power. These are not games. These are weapons of spiritual maturity. These are the pillars of masculine sovereignty. The Stoics taught us that we cannot control what others feel, only what we become. So become more for yourself, because the more you evolve, the more you'll find that what's meant to return often does, not because you reached for it, but because you rose above it. And when she thinks about you again, and trust me, she will, she won't be thinking about the man you were. She'll be wondering how she ever walked away from the man you've become. Drop a final word in the comments. Are you walking your path in silence? Are you rebuilding? Tell the tribe where you're at in your journey, because your growth could be the spark another man needs today. If this video spoke to your soul, like it, share it with a brother, and subscribe to the Stoic Golden Tribe. We're not here for shallow answers. We're here to reclaim our power, one truth at a time. Until next time, stay focused, stay strong, and stay sovereign.